IVM.
Hello and welcome to the Habit Coach podcast. I am Ashdin Doctor, your habit coach. And today we're going to have an interesting discussion about nutrition and nutrition habits. And we're going to talk about weight loss, but we're going to talk about other aspects of nutrition as well, because there are so many elements that it covers. So today with us, we have a nutrition expert, Neha Sahaya, with us, and we're going to discuss these elements. So Neha, welcome to the Habit Coach podcast.
Thank you for having me. I am Neha Sahaya, clinical nutritionist and wellness consultant. And I'm super excited to do this podcast with you.
Yay, Neha. Neha, tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get into this?
So, you know what? I was a fitness enthusiastic person. Obviously, I myself have lost 18 kilos. I have reversed my PCOS and my thyroid. And I guess I was an inspiration to a couple of people, and they came to me for a diet. And that's how Neha Sahaya Wellness was born. It was that simple.
So people came and asked you, what do I do? And then you said, maybe this could be a business opportunity. Is that how it?
So let me put it that way. I had studied nutrition, but I wasn't implementing it. My daughter was just born, and somehow within 9 to 10 months, by following a routine of a good diet, when I'm saying real wholesome food, and introducing weight training in my diet, in my daily routine, I landed up getting a six pack. I was totally toned, and it was a miracle for myself to see myself in the mirror. And when I went out and with people, and they couldn't just believe it. They were like, how did you do this? How is it possible? We've known you for like 30 years and we've not seen you like this. So please give us your diet, And I was like, okay, I started giving people the diet, and I realized that one diet doesn't fit all, obviously. And then again, Neha Sahaya Wellness was born, where we understood clients, took personal consultation, and made individual diets as per each one's requirements.
So let's talk about your personal journey, and then we'll jump into the nutrition part. Okay. So like when you started off on the journey, what were some of the challenges that you faced? What were some of the things, and how did you overcome them? Like you said, you set a routine for yourself, right?
Yes.
And that was what is important. Did it happen immediately, or was there a little bit of...
So I was quite motivated also, and I had this madness to get back in shape post-pregnancy. I did not like the body that I had, and it was not only physical, my looks that mattered, it was also my mental well-being. I was not happy in my own body, and the standard Indian mentality, abhi to maa ban gayi ho, how does it matter how you look, And I was like, no, I'm low on energy. I'm not liking the way I look. I'm losing hair. I have no skin glow. I have to do something about this, And when you open the internet, social media, there's so much information out there, to actually, reduce it and actually figure out what is right and wrong is what took me time. But the real theory behind being healthy and fit over vanity is eat real, wholesome food, have consistency with your workout routine and your lifestyle, and you will achieve the body. The problem is when people want to achieve this within 2 months, when it takes actually a year, and then it's a practice of a lifestyle.
You said it, you hit the nail on the head. It's all about wanting it right now that actually trips up people, right? It is the consistency that actually makes the difference.
Our generation is everything they want quick, right? We are in this generation where, just by a slash of hand, you get everything. So we expect to get the results with our body also with less effort, but it doesn't work that way. You need discipline and consistency more than even motivation.
Right. I think that consistency is the key in this aspect of it. So when people come to you with an issue, what are the typical kinds of issues that people come with you for to talk about?
So I will have people who will probably be having, the one kidney or, liver is completely wasted, but the biggest demand is weight loss. That is the biggest demand for everyone. And I tell them, listen, let's get healthy and fit. Let the byproduct be weight loss. But unfortunately, again, I would say is because of the certain appearance that has come as a body image in our current, year, is what people are now behind. People want to get toned, people want to get chiseled, people want to look 20 again, and not realizing, yes, we are 50. Yes, 50 is the new 40, but 50 is definitely not the new 20. So these are the issues that people come. They want too quick results, and it is not that it's not possible, but they want to drink on the weekends, they want to eat out on the weekends, and they still want this body. So it's a very big challenge how to design someone's diet in such a way that they can actually have those one or two drinks because they want it, and that's our current lifestyle of a lot of people. And at the same time, eat out, remain fit, and actually go through your hectic work schedule. So there are multiple factors that I have to face while making someone's diet.
So that's interesting, right? Because they're setting themselves up for failure in the way that you're saying, the lifestyle that has to change first in order for the consistency and the nutrition parts to come in.
So you know what I feel? It's very simple. I've been very honest in my Instagram and my social media posts that I do have a drink twice a week. You know, maybe a small drink, but I do have it, and I like it. It's my and my husband's bond together. I think it's a part of my lifestyle. And if the other things that I'm doing right, two drinks is not what's going to harm my body. You know, it's this whole small thinking that if you drink, it's going to cause problem. If you eat one meal out, it's a problem. No, it's about balancing. You have to have a balance, you know. So if I'm going to do that, yes, I will eat with my protein. I will not eat excessive carbs. I'm not going to have a whole bowl of peanuts. I'm not going to have 3 4 slices of pizza. So I learned to balance my lifestyle, and I try to teach whoever comes to me that let's find a way to balance. You know, you can't have 10 drinks, a large pizza, and expect a chiseled body. It's not going to happen. So let's find a harmony between your likes and my likes, and then come up with a plan.
Fantastic. When you say, a balanced lifestyle, what are elements of this balanced lifestyle that you can think of? Like, what are things that people should start looking for right now and saying that, am I too much in this direction, too much in that direction? Like, where would the balance come from?
So you know what? As I always say that when we read headlines, we read social media, we read books. There's the non-vegetarian fighting with the vegans. There's the diabetes association fighting with the paleo diet. There's so much information, and each nutritionist trying to prove a point with some new funda. And the end loser is the person, a normal person who's listening and figuring out how to eat clean, you know. But
it's confusing.
Exactly, right. And sometimes even when we have studied so much nutrition and we come back and all of a sudden 5 people have got excellent results with keto, and then there are 5 people who have suffered with fatty liver, you know, with keto. So what is happening, you know, really? But the common factor, I always tell, you know, there are 4 things common in all diets, you know. One is that you need to have fiber, you need to have a lot of fruits and vegetables, you shouldn't be having a high carb diet, and last, reduce processed junk food. These are the 4 principles of a diet. And as long as you can follow these 4 principles, and they're proven diets like DASH, Mediterranean diet, you know, low carb diet, but I'm not talking about like these fat diets which are telling you to have a banana the entire day, you know, not those type of diets. But the basic funda is that eat a lot of fruits, vegetables. That means eat real wholesome food, you know, because they have phytochemicals which help to give you vitamins, minerals, and improve your body.
It's so true. When I was going through my weight loss journey, I tried every single diet known to mankind, right? And the problem with the diet is that your mentality is only about I'm suffering, I'm suffering, I'm suffering, I'm suffering. Like you said, no, that have the banana, like the GM diet, have banana and milk one entire day, etc. It's just crazy. But till you realize that these eating principles are what make a difference.
Of course. No, but you know, you need to understand, as I've dealt with so many clients now, you know, there are some clients who have minimum goals. A wedding is coming. I'll do a GM because chalo, I'll reduce that 2 kilos, I'll fit into that ghagra, I have a flat stomach, and I'm done. Then how I look is irrelevant. You know, they're very different mentality of people. So in, you know, each one, as one diet doesn't fit all, each one's mentality also doesn't fit, you know. Everyone has their own different thinking, and you have to work around it. You have to be happy in your body, you know. That's what I tell every client who comes to me and tells me I want a bikini body. I'm like, what is a bikini body? There's a Kim Kardashian also who has a bikini body, which a lot of people love it. And then there's her other sister, Kendall Jenner, who's like really skinny, and people love her also. So what is your perspective? Because you have to live with your body. You know, it's not me. So please tell me, what do you like as a figure, you know, and or a physique, and then we'll work towards it.
Each person's perfect body is different.
Exactly.
So Neha, like you're saying that, the perfect body is different for different people. And earlier on, you mentioned weight training as an important part of this process. And why are people so scared of weight training? What is the deal with weight training and being fearful of it?
So I'll tell you this. It's quite funny, and I shouldn't be talking like that, but most nutritionists prefer that clients don't do weight training simply because what happens is, from the weighing scale perspective, you lose muscle mass along with weight, and they're very happy because it shows lesser weight. So what happens, some people gain 1 or 2 kilos initially when they start weight training because they're building muscles. And that upsets the client because we are all obsessed with the weighing scale concept, unfortunately. But you lose inches with weight training, right? You look better. You're metabolically more able to burn calories because muscles are metabolically more active. So this is the thing. But from the weighing pill perspective, it can be a little shifty. That's why.
Have you ever tried moving away from the weighing scale as a benchmark for, for your clients, because one of the habits that we have is throw your weighing scale away, give it away to your neighbor that you don't like. Don't stand on it because it gets obsessive.
So I myself personally have not stood on a weighing scale since a year. Uh,
Woohoo.
yes, I haven't, and I've stopped this habit because it can really drive someone crazy. And I really request my clients when they start my diet plan, don't message me on the second day what your weight is. Don't message me every day what your weight is. I'm not interested in answering those questions because if you take a Durcolex and take a good poop, you'll be a kilo down. So please don't message me. So I've been trying to tell my clients those kind of things, but unfortunately, weighing scale they feel is the best barometer to judge them. I tell them you rather have one hole less in your pant than have 1 kilo more on your weighing scale is okay, but your pant getting loose is a more exciting factor. But unfortunately, it's so engraved in their mindset that they're not willing to change. And I actually invested on a full fat analysis machine for them. And I'm telling you, be there COVID, I may have COVID, but they want to stand on that scale to know whether their fat has come down or their weight has come down. They're that obsessive.
We're going to take a quick break. See you on the other side.
Going for parties is just so frustrating these days. I mean, your mom will make it a point to come and tell you how her friend's son has secured a house for her, and your wife will also find out that her sister's husband is taking her on a foreign holiday, while you're wondering why you're the only one who doesn't have a plan for the damn future. That's why I never sleep well during the festive time. Unless... www.hdfclife.com. Select. Done. You know what? I think I'll sleep rather well after all. Live calm. With HDFC Life, click to protect life. The Income Plus option offers life cover and steady income stream, so you're always ready for any expenses that life throws at you. Basically, this plan lets you plan your expenses like you plan your vacations. It's that simple. Visit hdfclife.com to know more and for terms and conditions.
Welcome back. All right, let's jump into the conversation.
Okay. So when we think about, when your clients come to you, what are the main habits that trip them up? What are 3 things that you realize are either self-evident or things that they don't realize that are preventing them on this progress from going forward?
So number one thing is most people assume this simple question they keep asking me is diet is high protein. And I feel like telling even if you have excessive protein, it does convert it to fat. You do not always need a high protein diet. You need to have vegetables. You need to have other micronutrients in order to remain healthy and fit. You need to have fats in your diet. People assume, I tell people to have nuts and they're like, but we'll gain weight. I said, but where have you heard that? No, but we gain weight. We are told not to have nuts. I said, no, you are supposed to have nuts because nuts prevent blood sugar levels to rise. They are excellent source of nutrition. Please include it in your diet. So one is high protein. They're obsessed with low carb. They don't want fat in their diet. So these are the 3 main things I keep seeing, clients and a lot of clients want to do intermittent fasting. Okay. And they don't lose weight with it. Because the basic thing of intermittent fasting, they feel they fasted for 18 hours. Let's call a burger. Let's have a milkshake. Let's smoke a couple of cigarettes and let's have a drink. And I've tried to tell everyone that intermittent fasting is not a diet. It tells you how much to fast and then it expects you to eat healthy during the eating window. It doesn't work. You fast and then you eat whatever you like. So these are the few issues I continuously face and I have to keep telling clients that, it's wrong. Please correct. I've seen clients who eat 1 meal have not lost a kilo over the months and then I put them on 7 to 8 meals and they're losing 10 kilos. So, again, one diet doesn't fit all. Body's metabolic rate is different for each person.
So, if there are so many different kinds of diets, what is the way to figure out which one is going to fit you and suit you? Because like you said, there's so much information being thrown out at you, right? Like, is there a starting point and then you start discovering your own nutrition?
So, it's very simple. I have something called a client assessment form where my client fills the form. And that's the beauty about when Neha Sahaya Wellness works only on one thing, which the name says it, only on Neha Sahaya. I don't hire anyone under me. I'm kind of quite a control freak. So I love to know my clients. I love to understand them. I spend a lot of time knowing their nature. So when they fill the client assessment form, which is a very detailed form where I get to know how they are as a person, because in first appointment, everyone is enthusiastic to lose weight. Once I gauge how they are, there's something called a person who's disciplined to some extent. There are people who are just not disciplined. So most people fit into the bracket of eating every 2.5, 3 hours. They're most people, because Indians love their tea, they love their coffees in between at work hours or whatever. So they do not fit into the bracket of intermittent fasting. And I'm a big believer of 2.5, 3 hour eating, because I feel when we do that, we are more balanced when we eat our big meals. So we're not starving. We think straight in comparison to people who eat 2 square meals or just 3 square meals. One is that. Then there are people who are quite indisciplined. So for them, intermittent fasting to some level works because they stop eating post 8 p.m. and they don't open a packet of chips when they're watching their Netflix. It's as simple as that. So it gives them a sense of discipline that, okay, we are in a time restrictive, way of doing a diet. So we will try to control. So honestly, you have to gauge each client. And then there are clients who suffer from PCOS, some suffer from thyroid, diabetes. So they may require more fat in their diet because they have gone through such low calorie diets that the hormones have shifted. It's not working in synergy, and so probably adding fat in the diet. So the beauty is being custom made. The beauty is to talk to them, to connect with them. And that's what I love, So people keep telling me, hire someone, you work too many hours. And I'm like, if I don't connect, I'm like any other person out here, giving a diet. I don't want to give a 2,000 rupee plan and giving that same plan to 100 people. That's not what you come to Neha Sahaya for.
Absolutely. And I think the stories are what actually make it fun when you're working with your coaches and the people that you train. Yeah.
It's exciting to know different lives.
Exactly. I think that's what I love about it as well. Neha, when we are talking about nutrition, before we started the podcast, you were saying that there are other aspects of nutrition as well. One is weight loss that everyone is very, very focused on. But you said people also want to know about their hair and skin and that aspect of it. Can you tell us a little bit about how nutrition plays a role in this and what should we think about when it comes to hair? And
yes. So, we have so many OTC products right now available. And I think most of us have become quite stingy. We don't want to go to doctors and nutritionists. Let's pick up biotin, because we have heard biotin helps to grow your hair faster. And you see people popping biotin tablets left, right, and center. And ironically, biotin deficiency, very few people have. You'll never see a person, going crazy because they have biotin deficiency. The real deficiency for hair fall is your B12, which has to be, unfortunately, doctors just see within range. They don't see optimal range. So, it's within 200 to 800, 250 range. Go. But the key is it has to be between 500 to 600 in order to avoid hair fall. Next thing, which is very important for hair, is your iron, so another good blood test to do is ferritin, which tells you the stored form of iron. And a ferritin should be between 50 to 60 in order to prevent hair fall. Then obviously there are various other factors like your zinc in your diet, which comes from your nuts. Again, people being deficient in zinc is quite less. And assuming in 2 years in the pandemic, now people have popped in zinc tablets for better immunity. And it's really good for your hair. So these are the three most common vitamin nutritional deficiency I see with people with hair fall. And then there's various other reasons like your hormonal, your PCOS, thyroid, where PCOS, we have high male hormone, which is testosterone and DHT. You have to correct that in order to prevent hair fall. Then the obvious factor is good quality protein. Like I tell my clients, just because you use an app to know how much protein you've had, there's totally different logic with absorption by the body. So sausage will have 20 grams of protein, but is it actually a good quality protein? But an app will not tell you that. It'll just tell you 20 grams of protein, So having good quality protein, including seeds like your flax seeds, So there's so many factors for hair fall, but by popping biotin is not the solution. And that's what I tell, again, people, if you're coming for a hair plan, or I've also made a lot of videos regarding hair, I'm like, please get a blood test done, understand your parameters, and then let's work towards that.
What are the other issues with hair that you see? One is hair fall. Then what are the others? Graying, brittle hair. What are the others?
Yes, so there's dandruff, which has become a very common aspect now. When you have the dandruff is also, you need to understand the difference. When you have a flaky texture in your hair, which has happened with the change of weather, it may not be always dandruff. It could just be like, a scratch and a dirt in your hair, which needs to be cleaned. Dandruff is proper white flakes, which is actually an infection in your hair. And that's usually people, again, only concentrate on what to do and what they shouldn't be doing. So one of the biggest causes of dandruff is constipation, which a lot of people don't know. Yes, constipation holds in all the toxins and it shows in different ways in your body. And one of them is dandruff. Then if you're having a lot of processed junk food, alcohol is another cause of a bad eating habit. So your hair is not getting the right nutrition and it's getting converted to dandruff. So easiest solution, let's get a shampoo. Let's put that nimbu, ghiss kar, and hoping some miracle will happen. But again, it all falls back with what you eat. Your roots have to be strong in order for anything to happen. and your roots is your entire body from internal. And that's what I keep telling my clients. Then there's graying of hair. Now, graying is a natural process for a lot of people, genetical process. And I think at some level we have to accept when we get older. The problem is when you're 18, 19 and you're getting gray hair without genetically. And that's usually deficiency of certain vitamins and nutrients, especially B12, because it helps to create melanin production. So, again, it boils down to what you eat. And I think from 16 to 25, we can really ruin our body with eating all sorts of junk because we have freedom of money and parents are looking less at our diets. So I think we are eating more and more,
And the negative effects don't show, right? That's the important thing.
That's at 35. 35 onwards.
It'll all start coming out.
It all comes out.
So as a result, I remember in our office, we were having this discussion, right? Young kids, none of them wanted to care about their body or what they were eating. They're like, everything is fine. I don't feel any difference. And that the thing is that it all accumulates. And then, like you said, comes out at 35. Boom.
Oh, God. And I know so many people, they're like, Neha, 30, before 30 we did this diet, we lost weight. Before 40 we did this diet. Now our body, I said, because now you're not 20, you're 30. What you did at 20 is showing at 30. What you did at 30 is showing at 40. It's as simple as that. You can't do a GM live from, can you?
No, absolutely. Neha, thank you so much for coming on the Habit Coach podcast. How can people get in touch with you, continue this conversation?
Of course, they can find me on Instagram @Neha Sahaya. Visit me on www.nehasahaya.com. Everything is quite easy. It's just Neha Sahaya. So just figure me out. Easier, self-obsessed. So everything is Neha Sahaya.
Superb. Neha, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. So that was Neha Sahaya talking about nutrition. Now, this was part 1. Make sure you join us for part 2. That's going to be coming out in just a couple of days. Oh my God, IVM, you got the 7-year itch. Congratulations. 7 years of being in existence. Happy birthday to you. So excited. And I'm so honored to be part of this journey with you. Now, if you like this podcast, don't forget to check out other interesting podcasts on the IVM network. You can listen to us on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com. You can also follow us on social media. We are at IVM Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to reach out to me, I am at Ashdin Doc on Twitter and Instagram. We have a brand new habit coaching online course, quizzes, videos, and a lot more on the website awesome180.com. So check it out now.
Hello. It's been another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. On The Habit Coach, Ashdin meets Dr. John DeMartini. He is a world-renowned human behavior expert and founder of the DeMartini Institute. He shares 5 actionable habits to align our purpose and values. On Think Fast, Varun and Suchita discuss Disney Plus Hotstar swelling subscription numbers and actor Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's new alcohol brand, Teremana Tequila. On All Things Policy, the Takshashila folk take a close look at the union government banning another 54 Chinese apps. On Smarter with Sid, Siddharth explores how Shark Tank India is changing the equation of the startup economy. And on Tere Mere Raste, Keshav takes us to Bhutan's royal capital, Thimphu. Do follow us on social media. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And remember, if you're enjoying this show or any of our other shows for that matter, please do tell a friend. It really helps us. Don't forget to rate us on any of the platforms that you're listening to. And also remember, you can check us out on YouTube at www.ivmpodcast.com/YouTube. And finally, we'd like to thank our sponsors this week, SBI Life Insurance, Bank of Baroda, and HDFC Life Insurance. Thank you so much for making this possible.
Remember the days when our granny used to narrate once upon a time stories? Let's bring back the good old days of moral stories with Storytime Tamil. Hi, I am Ravishankar Balachandran, host of Storytime Tamil podcast. I would like you to entertain and educate your children with stories from Storytime Tamil. Tune in to the new episode sharp at 7 p.m. every day on IVM website, IVM podcast app, YouTube channel, or wherever you get your podcast from.